All right, are we live? This should be live on Rumble and YouTube. So if there's any issues with the sound, somebody out there let me know. All right, what are we going to talk about? Well, we all know what happened today. Kyle Rittenhouse was acquitted, as he should have been, as he rightly should have been. I mean, anybody who paid any attention at all to that trial could see it was clearly self-defense. I mean, regardless of what, side of the political spectrum you're on, sane people recognize that you have to be able to defend yourself from crazed people. If somebody says that they're going to kill you, as Rosenbaum did to Kyle Rittenhouse, before he apparently tried to kill him, I mean, it sure looked like that. I don't know, you should have, you should be able to say something about that. You should be able to do something about that situation to protect yourself. But that's what happened, and a lot of people are happy about it. A lot of people are not happy about it. I've got Fox News on here. Live updates. Protests erupt from New York to California after Rittenhouse acquitted on all charges. So, protests. So, do we even know what protests mean anymore? Like when they say protest, is it mostly, are they mostly peaceful protests? I guess that's the question. Are they mostly peaceful? I don't know. If you guys know anything out there, say in the comments if you see anything. Apparently, I'm not getting anything from Fox News here on their live updates. Let's take a look, actually. Let's click on here. Well, don't see anything here. Demonstrators continue to protest outside of Kenosha Courthouse. That's 30 minutes ago. Not saying anything about riots. Although, again, what do protests mean? Is it mostly peaceful? Was Stalingrad mostly peaceful? I don't know. Did the Germans say that back in, 1942? Mostly peaceful. So, I don't know. Anyway, let's see what people are saying on Twitter. Okay, what do we got here? Colin Kaepernick is saying, we just witnessed a system built on white supremacy validate the terroristic acts of a white supremacist. What is this guy talking about? It's got nothing to do with that. These are all white people involved, okay? Kyle Rittenhouse protected himself, defended himself against white people. If he's a white supremacist, he's doing it wrong. He only shot white people. This is insanity. I mean, the words don't mean anything. This is the problem when everything is white supremacy, everything is racist. The words don't mean anything anymore. How can anybody take you seriously? Everybody involved was white. It's absurd. Colin Kaepernick sees, some vanilla yogurt. It's white supremacist yogurt. Everything's white supremacist. Nobody is going to believe this bullshit. It's insanity. It's clearly insanity. But this is the thing. I mean, when that's the answer to every question is just, ism or ist or phobe or something, nothing is. Nothing is. You have to have some discretion. He's saying this only further validates the need to abolish our current system. Yeah. This is insanity. This is insanity. I tell you, if he sees plain yogurt, he'll immediately say that you need to abolish the current yogurt system, because everything is that to this guy. Let's move on. Oh, let's see. Nick Searcy, what does he say about this? He says, here is another liar that Rittenhouse should sue to oblivion. Agreed. Will he sue these people? That's another question. He absolutely should. He should be suing Colin Kaepernick because he has no reason to, he has no evidence to say this. It's insanity. You should absolutely be suing this guy. This is defamatory. And this is from a guy, I mean, this Kaepernick, this is his new career. This is how he makes money. Maybe he's really dumb enough to believe it all. I don't know. I'm not a mind reader. But he's making a damn good living out of this, isn't he? You know? And who are they so upset about? I mean, Rosenbaum was a convicted child rapist. Are they going to build a statue of him? Are there going to be statues of him going up? You know? When they put the statue up, will it be a statue of him molesting a kid? I don't know. I mean, do they not know this? How can you have strong feelings about a case that you know nothing about? Does Colin Kaepernick not know this? What about Huber? Are they going to do a mural? Murals of Huber everywhere? Is a mural going to be of him like threatening his grandmother with a knife? Do these people know anything about the case? I don't think that they do. Here's something. Don't attack people, especially when that person's got a gun. Don't threaten to kill them and then attack them. This is a bad idea. I mean, maybe when, you know, Kyle Rittenhouse is running away saying friendly, friendly, trying to get away, that might have been a good time for Rosenbaum to stop. I mean, it's hard to feel sorry for the guy knowing the horrible, horrible, horrible things that he did to children. Are you aware of that, Colin Kaepernick? Are you aware of that before you donate money to build a statue of this guy? Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. There are people with some really stupid takes here. Okay, so these people apparently they apparently know absolutely nothing. I didn't watch the trial, but I knew there was no way a white guy in a MAGA hat who used a machine gun to kill two black pastors. This must be a joke. This has got to be a joke. Machine gun to kill two black pastors for absolutely no reason would be found guilty. I wish somebody had taken video so they would have had evidence. Yeah, so this is some sort of parody account or something, I'm assuming. Intersectional vegan. Yeah, I think that must be a parody. Although it's hard to tell these days. It's hard to tell what's parody and what's not. Let's see. This person, this genius is saying, Kyle Rittenhouse illegally took a rifle to a protest. Everything resulting after this becomes illegal by default. If he did not break the law, no one would have died. A corrupt judge and a corrupt jury allowed this terrorist to walk free. Well, that's interesting. Illegally took a rifle to a protest. Not true. He actually had the gun legally. I mean, this was all established in court. I guess you weren't paying attention. What about Grosskreutz with his gun that he actually had illegally? His permit for it was expired. He had it illegally. Watch the videos. There were protesters, rioters with guns. Okay, are you concerned about them? No, the stupidity is just shocking. What else have we got here? Andy No is chiming in on this. Quote, we must be more militant. So he's quoting this tweet here. We can't repeat 2020. We must build a new path for uprising. We must be more militant and brave than we were before. More militant. Well, that's comforting. We can't let grifty people hijack protest spaces by grabbing power. It's time to rise again, but in a new way. This is abolish Seattle Police Department. I guess a Seattle Antifa account says comrades need to learn from the riot lessons in 2020 and to become more extreme and militant in order to carry out a successful insurrection following the Rittenhouse court decision. So yeah, that's comforting. Good people. Let's see. What's this? The Rittenhouse, a chaser followed by 3 shots. Jesus. Let's see. White privilege. Just sending this here since white privilege is trending on Twitter. Simpkins shoots 4 in a school, freed within 24 hours, bail $75,000. Rittenhouse shoots 3 in self-defense, 2+ months in jail, bail $2 million. So that throws a bit of a spanner in the works, doesn't it? Let's see. This is from the New York Times. Cal Rittenhouse, who fatally shot 2 men and wounded another in Kenosha, Wisconsin last year, was found not guilty of homicide and 4 other charges. Well, that doesn't really tell the whole story, does it? But that's the New York Times, of course. What's going on here? It was about liberty, not just Rittenhouse. There he is. All right. And these people are all very upset, and he's having a drink. Very nice. See, Oakland police put up barricades in front of police headquarters, not knowing if tonight's protest against the Rittenhouse verdict would come to their front door. Well, I guess we'll see. Riding with Biden. Somewhere these 2 Rittenhouse victims are weeping. Well, he's the child rapist. He's the one who was threatening his brother and grandmother, forcibly confining them and strangling them, all that sort of thing. Great guys. Great guys. When are we going to see the statues? Let's see. Left-wing accounts are furious and are inciting mass violence on Twitter after Kyle Rittenhouse was found not guilty on all the charges. Of course they're not happy. Let's see. Do not post about crimes on the internet. All right. It's time to burn it down in Kenosha. Okay, great. Nice message. It's okay. We will riot tonight. But you were going to riot anyway, weren't you? Although we haven't seen if they're going to. It is cold out there, right? Cold weather isn't perfect for rioting. You know, it's not ideal. Summer's a much better time. Much better time. Let's see. Reminder, folks, it only takes between 6 and 10 people to flip a police car. Great people. These are great people. Don't care what happened at all. Don't care about truth or reality. Just they want... I guess these are revolutionary communists, so they just want to destroy the system. They don't. It's just the ends justify the means. They don't care about real justice or anything like that, or just human well-being, right? I mean, you can't be a Marxist and care about human well-being. It's impossible. Not if you've ever read about it. Not if you've ever read anything about, I don't know, the Soviet Union, a lot of more, Cultural Revolution in China. All the terrible things that happened in Cuba, or still happen in Cuba, still happening in China. All right, for anyone wanting the undeniable, here are some posts I saved back when the incident first occurred. Hope you find use of it. Registered sex offender Joseph D. Rosenbaum, one of the left's new heroes. So, I mean, just think about how fricking weird that is. How surreal that is. That these guys are the heroes. Out front of the Rittenhouse trial, saw people with a sign that had this guy, Huber, and this guy, Rosenbaum, and it said heroes on it. Heroes. Just think about how bizarre that is. Either they know who these people are, and they still think that they're heroes. I mean, we're talking about just bad people, or they don't know, and they're there protesting in just total ignorance. Think about how weird that is. All right. Well, there's Huber, and he's guilty of a lot of things. These are all of his charges, right? Strangulation and suffocation, guilty due to guilty plea. I believe that was with his brother and grandmother when he falsely imprisoned them, which he is also guilty of. Yeah. All right, let's keep going. Let's see. Breaking the confirmed Twitter account of key Rittenhouse prosecution witness Gage Grosskreutz, who was shot in the arm by the teen after rushing after him with a pistol, shows he's been tweeting about the case and trial. Whatever happened to charges against him, by the way? He had a gun illegally. He admitted on the stand after lying about it, which seems like perjury. He admitted that he pointed that gun at Kyle Rittenhouse. Where are the charges against this guy? Where are the people saying that, what was he doing? He's a terrorist because he took a gun to a protest, a so-called protest. You have to remember that the modern left now has no principles. They don't care, right? They're willing to lie all day long. They don't give a damn. The Jacob Blake arrest is also what led to the burning of Kenosha and Kyle Rittenhouse. Okay. Let's see. Gage Grosskreutz, a member of the People's Revolution movement, chased Kyle Rittenhouse and pointed a loaded handgun at him. He was illegally in possession of the gun. He later admitted he regretted not killing Kyle. Ah, boy, oh boy. He replied to this with, ha 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 ha, cope harder, soy boy. Okay. Antifa at work. All right. So he's not a good guy. Let's see. Diwan Tatro? I don't know if I'm saying that right. I actually don't really care. A violent criminal convict and the current senior advisor of strategic outreach for the DCCC. That's not so surprising, is it? That's not so surprising. He's a Democrat. A group dedicated to electing Democrats to Congress said there should be no peace following the Rittenhouse jury decision because you don't care about justice. No justice, no peace. Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. Justice, no peace. You don't care. You'll have it either way. It doesn't matter. You've got no principles. You're a crazy person. Let's see. Dinesh D'Souza. The Rittenhouse jury wasn't intimidated by the left or the media. They just went ahead and did the right thing. To hell with the critics. Screw the media. Stand up for truth and let the chips fall where they may. There's a lesson in here for the GOP. Yeah. I mean, the media was trying to poison the trial right from the start. I mean, Biden called Kyle Rittenhouse a white supremacist. I mean, the jury had to know. The narrative was so slanted right from the start against Kyle Rittenhouse. Right. I mean, the state was against him, right? I mean, these charges should have been brought forward in the first place. And yet the jury still made the right decision. There's something hopeful about that, isn't there? The jurors in Kenosha showed incredible courage by ignoring the threats from the Democrat-controlled mob. This is Nick Searcy. They inspire me. I've decided that in their honor, I'm going to tell 100 Democrats on Twitter to kiss my ass and bark at the hole. All right, Dinesh D'Souza again. The left is apoplectic because it failed in a highly public attempt to demonstrate its power. The left deployed its terrifying power of the state and the media to convict a completely innocent political opponent. Today, the jury said, no, not this time, enough. Yeah, it's absolutely true. Absolutely true. They tried to make Kyle Rittenhouse a symbol right? They tried to make him a symbol of what happens when you oppose their power. And they failed. In fact, actually, they did make him a symbol of successfully opposing their power and their aggression and their anger and their violence. Let's see, from Andy No, a far-left group is fundraising money on Venmo support to distribute funds to people who are mobilizing to Kenosha. Like last year, crowdfunding on Venmo support and cash support was used to pay or help people who went to BLM Antifa riots. And Kyle Rittenhouse was kicked off of GoFundMe. They weren't allowed to fundraise for him on GoFundMe because leftism. That's it. It's all freaking crazy. All right. What else have we got here? Squad member Ayanna Pressley on Rittenhouse verdict. Racism and white supremacy remain the bedrock of our legal system. Again, this is lunacy. Everybody was white. Could it be that they literally only have one play? They only have one play, and they just simply can't think of anything else. Or they've become so lazy that they can't be bothered to try and come up with any other reason for anything. Could it be that? I mean, this looks insane. Maybe it's just that they really I always think that they're acting cynically. But maybe they really do think everything is racist. Maybe they really do. Like, look at a rock and they think it's racist, or a tree, or they'll see racist clouds. I mean, maybe they are this insane. I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean, you'd think that you would think that you would be embarrassed by employing these tactics over and over and over again. Especially since there are signs that the spell is breaking. This magic spell that they're able to cast, that it's breaking. You know, with Virginia was a good example. You know, in New Jersey as well. I mean, I don't know. I mean, you would think there would be some level of shame. Maybe they just are complete sociopaths or psychopaths. It's weird though, right? I mean, am I going crazy? Am I the one going crazy? I don't think so. I don't think that everything is racist. I don't see how that could possibly be. All right. Oh, what did Gavin Newsom say about the Rittenhouse trial? He said, in America today, you can break the law, carry around weapons built for a military. Well, the military doesn't use that weapon, AR-15, shoot and kill people and get away with it. So, you know what's awesome? You just leave out everything important out of that. That's the message we've sent to armed vigilantes across the nation. Why don't you talk about the armed rioters that were at Kenosha? Maybe mention them. Are they bad too? No, because you like them. Because for some bizarre reason you think they're politically expedient. I think this stuff is all getting a bit thin with everybody. Gavin Newsom is not... I mean, he can't be actually stupid. I mean, he doesn't seem like he's, got like an 84 IQ or something. So this is, it must be intentional. That he just went there and to shoot people. That's it. The trial means nothing. Don't bother with that. Ben Shapiro, here's some responses. Ben Shapiro from the Daily Wire. America today, you can lock down your entire citizenry while supping at the French Laundry and then win 2/3 of a recall vote. Yeah, that's sad, actually, isn't it? David Harsanyi, National Review. The AR-15 is not built for any military, but go on. Phil Kerpen, note, liars like Gavin are the source of this message. Let's see. Kevin Kiley, California legislator. Gavin Newsom is already attacking the Rittenhouse jury. Ordinary citizens reaching a decision based on evidence and the law goes against everything he stands for. Well, apparently. See, oh, here we go. Dustin Penner, a former NHL player. I hope everybody realizes what a POS this guy is. If he actually watched the trial, he wouldn't come to this ignorant conclusion. He's purposefully drumming up tension. Yeah, it seems like these people want riots. They want violence. It seems pretty clear that's what they want, doesn't it? What else can they want? I mean, it's certainly not going to calm things down. So you got Gavin Newsom. You've got Ayanna Presley. Oh, here's a Hollywood idiot. Great. Let's check them out. Actor Josh Gad says verdict of effer Kyle Rittenhouse, a go-ahead for vigilantes to kill protesters. Seemingly calls critics incels. Okay. So if you're this guy, what's his name? Josh Gad. Maybe you don't want to be calling other people incels. I mean, I'm just saying there's a picture of you. And, yeah, I mean, maybe just keep that to yourself. Let's see. Critics are also racist, of course, because what else could they be? Everything is racist. I mean, I'm sure that the clothes he's wearing are racist, right? Actor Josh Gad claimed Friday that the full acquittal of teenager Kyle Rittenhouse is a go-ahead for vigilantes to just go and kill protesters. Do you mean rioters? Do you mean rioters? Do you mean it's a go-ahead for people to defend themselves against violent criminals? Because if it's that, that's good, isn't it? Wouldn't he want that? After receiving pushback, his critics are racist, incels, and anarchists. What? Anarchists? Shouldn't he like anarchists? That's a bit weird. I'm surprised by that. Maybe that's just like a little joke on his part or something. I don't know. All right. Anna Duvernay tweets after Rittenhouse verdict, white supremacy is a delusion. I would agree with that. Oh, I think she means that it's real, but let's see. Oh, let's just read this. John Huber and Karen Bloom, parents of murderer. Okay, Kyle Rittenhouse's victim, Anthony Huber. The verdict sends an unacceptable message that armed civilians can show up in any town, incite violence, and then use the danger they have created to justify shooting people in the street. Maybe they shouldn't have attacked Kyle Rittenhouse. I mean, maybe. I mean, he was trying to get away. Maybe you should have just let him get away, right? He was trying to get to the police. Kind of a different story from the one they're telling. So she thinks that white supremacy is actually very real and everywhere, and it's under the bed, it's around the corner, it hid the TV remote. You know, if your car keys ever go missing, well, you know who took them. It's white supremacy. I see that white supremacy is a delusion, and I think, yes, it is a delusion. Like, these people are deluded. Apparently, they don't get it. All right. Let's see. How about, here's another crazy person. Democrat Cori Bush faces backlash for claiming Judge Jory Rittenhouse all white supremacists. I mean, it's funny. It's Monty Python, isn't it? It's Monty Python. It's become so ludicrous. It's just pure comedy at this point. I mean, don't ever trust somebody who you can predict what they're going to say about anything beforehand. Like any position, you know what side they're going to take, because that's not somebody who's thinking. That's not somebody who's able to reason, right? Because nobody, whatever, if you're left, right, whatever, nobody could agree with everybody on one side about everything. Like no thinking person can, right? Normal people, what you might call centrists, I guess, have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Somebody who just takes every issue and you know exactly where they're going to fall. Never trust those people. Don't trust them for a second because they're brainless, right? They're just ideologues at that point. At this point, we know what they're going to blame literally anything on, right? Literally anything. If, the coffee's just warm, if it's not hot, right? That's white supremacy. If there's no milk left in the, for the coffee, that's white supremacy too. Red lights, that's white supremacy, right? Parking tickets, white supremacy. Everything is. Internet goes down. You know what that is. What else could it possibly be? There's only one thing, right? There's only one bad thing in the world that is responsible for everything I don't like. Your favorite TV show gets canceled. You know what it is. What else could it be? Again, there's only one thing. And it just happens to be everything. So democracy, is democracy white supremacy? Is it? I think I imagine they probably think, capitalism is, right? Constitutional republic is. Everything is. Laws are. Everything is. Hard work. Check. Conscientiousness. Check. Nuclear family. Check. All white supremacy. Sometimes you just have to laugh because it's so absurd. What did she say? The judge, the jury, the defendant. It's white supremacy in action. Oh, of course it is. Of course. Of course, because you think that literally everything is. So what else could you think? This system isn't built to hold WSs accountable. Oh, come on. Okay. Stephen L. Miller, he said she has no idea what any of these words mean and couldn't explain how any of this was white supremacy if you sat her down and told her to explain it to you. Yeah, I don't think she could. Why bother? You can be as lazy as you like. You just use the words. You just say the magic spell, right? And everybody's supposed to just go, oh, okay, you're right. Yeah, okay. I think the spell's being broken, though. I don't think it's working anymore. Amongst everybody, right? No matter what your background is, I think the spell is starting to break across the board. David Hookstead, a sitting member of Congress, is hurt, angry, and heartbroken. And she says that here, that she's hurt, I'm angry, I'm heartbroken. Because Kyle Rittenhouse killed a convicted pedophile. Of all the insane takes, this is among the worst. Again, when's the statue going up? When's the statue going up? Lisa Booth, Fox News. What a liar. All they do is lie to divide. Yes. Such evilness. I will say that at this point it's evil. An awful bigot. And these people have to be called that, right? They have to be called evil racists. Joy Reid hates white men. She also hates white women, just so you know. So, for the ladies out there, she hates you too, right? She hates white men a little bit more. But she also hates you. She hates white people, and she says that constantly. There's no, there's no lost in translation there. She just openly says it. Okay. Let's see. If you were critical of Trump because he was undermining faith in our institutions, now would be a good time to speak up about, this. Undermining faith in the institutions. I would say that that's what she is doing. Well, but she hates the institutions, right? It's all white supremacy, right? Everything is systems of oppression and blah, 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 blah. Let's move on. What's going on here? Justice served. Many on social media react with outrage to Rittenhouse verdict. Of course they do. It's all they know how to do. Somebody called Swaggy C. If a black teen from the Bronx left his house and drove a few states over to the Capitol with an AR, put himself in the mix and killed 2 people, drove a few states over to the Capitol. Okay, this isn't making any sense. He'd be in jail for life. White people would cry that he drove himself there and he's a murderer. This person knows nothing about Cal Rittenhouse in that case. I mean, it's just clear from this tweet. Knows nothing. This is a blue check mark, so I guess people know who this guy is. It doesn't even make sense. Okay. Let's see. A white male double murderer is not guilty, but a black man would have gotten a life sentence. You're just saying that. I mean, you're just saying that because you assume that everything is systems of oppression. Right? I mean, that's all you know. You're just making an assertion. It means nothing. Okay, so it's proven that he's not a murderer. That's the thing. That's what the trial was about, right? I don't know if this person was aware of that. That's what the trial was about. To find out who was the victim. Well, we found out. I think the thing is because in this crowd, you just say that, but a black man would have gotten life sentence, right? You just add that. Again, that's like a magic spell. That's like a magic spell. You just say it and everybody has to agree with you. Everybody on the left then has to just go quiet. And just say, oh, yes, of course. All right. Don't mention OJ. Nobody mentioned OJ. Okay. Wajahat Ali, it's good to be a white murderer. What? They're not even thinking. I mean, it's like it's like a cult. It really is like a cult. Let's move on because that's too frustrating. Okay. So Biden, what did he say? He said the jury system works and we have to abide by it. He said when they first talked to him, they caught him like coming off the helicopter or something. He said, look, I stand by what the jury has concluded. The jury system works and we have to abide by it. And I thought, okay, well, that seems pretty good. Okay, that's maybe the only non-terrible thing that he said in, the last year. But he wasn't done because the people who handle him heard him say that. And they went, oh, no, that's not going to stir up trouble. That's not going to divide people. No, that's not Biden's position. All right, but Biden, we're going to tell you what your position is, and then you just repeat it, okay? So then later on, Biden said that the verdict will leave many Americans feeling angry and concerned, myself included. Must acknowledge that the jury has spoken. So, where did that come from? He didn't mention anything earlier about feeling angry and concerned. In fact, quite the opposite. Obviously, the people that control him said, that's not good. No, that's not what we like. You've got to change it. I think that's all I can do on this Rittenhouse stuff. Maybe let's go back to Fox News for a second, see if there's any updates here. Protests are up from New York to California. Okay, again, are these mostly peaceful? These mostly peaceful protests? I don't know. It's impossible to know anymore because words don't mean what they're supposed to mean anymore. Let's end this off with something which I've been meaning to get to. Iranian women's soccer team are accused of playing a man as a goalkeeper. Rivals Jordan demand a gender verification after losing penalty shootout to her key saves. Okay, well, this seems a bit weird. What's going on here? Saying that they're playing a man. So I guess this is her here. Iran's national women's football team have been accused by rivals Jordan of playing a man as a goalkeeper. And this is the one that they're concerned with here. So, I can kind of see their point. I don't want to be mean, but I see their point. I mean, my granny, what strong brow ridges you have. I don't know. It looks a bit like a fella to me. I think they've got a point. I don't want to be mean about this or anything, but, I mean, what do you think? Is there any more pictures here? Yeah. Looks a bit like a fella. And I know they're not really down with the trans thing over there. That'll get you thrown off a rooftop real quick. The only thing is, I think that had they decided to play a man, they would have picked a man that looked a little bit more like a woman. That's my thought. So I'm going to say that this is a beautiful lady, is what I'm going to say. A beautiful lady. Right there. All right, that's it for tonight. I'm getting real close to 5,000 subscribers on Rumble. So if you're ever over on Rumble, or if you're watching me on Rumble and you're not subscribed yet, subscribe, because I'm only I think I'm less than 40 subs away from 5,000. And that'll be great when I hit that. So, to everybody on Rumble, thank you very much, because I really appreciate it. I appreciate those subscriptions. We'll get to 5, and then we're going to get to 10. And then who knows where we go. But anyway, that's all I got to say about all that. Please subscribe, like, and share. It really helps me out. If you just like to listen, there's just the audio version, which is on pretty much every platform. It's on Spotify and a bunch of other ones, like 400 other ones. If you look for it, you will find it. Thank you very much.